Hello students, this is Vaishali, a faculty in Galgotias University. I welcome you all to this presentation. The name of the topic is Setting Up Business Enterprise, Idea Generation, Creativity and Innovation. So let's get started with the presentation. Let's briefly look at the topics which are discussed in this presentation. We begin with introduction. Then we'll look at what is a good business idea along with its examples. Further, different techniques like brainstorming, focus groups, surveys, observation are discussed, which are used for generating ideas. Then what is creativity? Reasons for people being creative, steps involved in creative process. We will discuss the personality traits of creative people as well as barriers to creativity, especially in an organization. And then we'll discuss innovation, different types of it, and the steps involved in innovation process. We all know that anyone who wants to start a business needs an idea. Then only you can start and grow a business venture. Most of the times, generating idea is an innovative and creative process. In fact, sometimes the most difficult aspect of starting a business is coming up with a business idea. And even if you have a general business idea in mind, then also it usually needs to go through some fine-tuning process. And at times, a fruitful idea will often occur where your skill set, your hobbies, your interest, and your social network intersect. So basically what we are saying is that the best ideas for a business are likely to come from the activities and people you already know well. Now there can be exceptions to this rule. Now let's try to understand what is a good business idea. So whenever you want to start a business, you would ponder over this question that what could be a good business idea for you to start a venture. Now any good business idea can be an invention, a new product or a service, or even an original solution to everyday problems. The point here is that a good business idea does not necessarily have to be a unique product or service. Now, majority of the entrepreneurs, if you just take some examples from the environment, credit their accomplishment to the exceptional execution of ordinary ideas. Yes, so many times it does not have to be anything innovative or a new invention, but even if you execute an ordinary idea exceptionally well, that can also work for you. And even chances of success will be far greater if you can market a product that is similar to an existing offerings, which provides a greater customer value to the customers. So let's further look at some of the ways in which we can build upon an existing material and would still provide a profit-driven concept. For example, we can do some extension to an already existing product. For example, when we add camera and some song features to a mobile phone. Then secondly, you can create an improved service. For example, fast delivery services offered by restaurants. Then another way is if you can market a product at a lower price, which is the model used by e-commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart. Their business model is that they offer the product at a lower price. Another example would be adding value to an existing product or service. Or you can also alter the quantity or quality of a product, or introduce some automation, simplification or convenience to a product. For example, the introduction of smart products. Then You will find many people these days, they turn their personal interest or hobbies into businesses, especially on the online platform like YouTube, Instagram. So that is also one of the ways in which you can utilize your skills and hobbies and turn it into a business idea. Then one of the most popular ways of starting a business would be if you can spot the latest trend and cash in on the opportunity. Then if you could simplify repair, maintenance, replacement or cleaning of a product, or just simply changing the color, material or shape of an already existing product, that is product differentiation if you can offer, that can also work as a business idea. So these were some of the examples, and further list is not exclusive. So in general, the entrepreneur identifies more ideas than opportunities because many ideas are typically generated to find the best way to capitalize on an opportunity. There are several techniques like brainstorming, focus groups, observations or surveys which can be used to stimulate and facilitate the generation of new ideas for product, services and businesses. So let's discuss these techniques in detail in further slides. So one of the ways to generate new ideas is brainstorming. Now in brainstorming, generally there is a small group of people who interact with each other, and there is very little structure or no structure as such. The goal here is just to produce large quantity of novel and imaginative ideas. So in brainstorming, the aim is to have an open, uninhibited atmosphere that allows members to freely exchange their ideas. Generally, there are no rules and regulations or any moderator as such. So as group members interact, each idea in turn sparks the thinking of others. They can build upon that original idea, and then that's how spawning of many ideas become contagious. So therefore, during a brainstorming process, people should avoid criticizing or rewarding ideas. Similarly, there is another method known as focus groups. Now here in focus groups, individuals provide information, but here they use a more structured format, because generally in a focus group there is a moderator who will lead the group through an open in-depth discussion. The members of the group will form comments in depth for a new product that can result in market penetration. So focus group is one of the excellent techniques for screening ideas and concepts. So now see what is the difference between brainstorming and focus groups. So brainstorming is generally with no rules and regulations, and there are no judgments on any idea given, because the aim here is just to produce as many ideas as possible. But focus groups goes a step further, and it generally has an idea in mind, and the views are taken from the members on that particular idea. Suppose you already have an idea in mind and now you want to focus on how to market that product. Suppose you want to produce a product but you don't know how to market it. So focus group can be used to generate further ideas on marketing. So this is an in-depth method, whereas brainstorming is not such an in-depth method. Another method of collecting ideas is surveys. Now under this process, data is gathered based on communication with a representative sample of individuals. So out of all the population that you are targeting, you just need to interview a small population called sample. So this technique requires asking people who are called respondents for information either verbally or by using written means of communication. Questions or interviews are utilized to collect data on telephone or face-to-face interview. Next method is emerging trends. So one of the ways to collect ideas is by observing the emerging trends. So like people's demand can be changed or new demand can be created for new products or services just by observing the emerging trends. Another way to generate new ideas is research and development. So research is a planned activity which aims at discovering new knowledge with the hope of developing new or improved products and services. So researching new methods, skills and techniques can enable a businessman to enhance their performance or abilities and deliver better quality products and services. Now creativity and innovation play an important role in idea generation. Creativity is defined as the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems. So basically creativity is the ability to come up with new ideas and to identify new and different ways of looking at a problem and opportunities. Let's look at one more definition of creativity. So according to another definition, creativity is a process of assembling ideas by recombining elements already known but wrongly assumed to be unrelated to each other. Now this definition has several key elements that are worth considering, like creativity is a process. So creativity is also a process because it is more like a skill than an attitude, and you can get better at it with practice. Secondly, creativity results in ideas that have potential value. And finally, the element of recombining, that is, the creative process is one of putting things together in unexpected ways. So in order to be more creative, you need to be able to view things in new ways or from a different perspective. Also, you need to be able to generate new possibilities or new alternatives. So the test of creativity measures not only the number of alternatives that one can come up, but the uniqueness of those alternatives. The ability to generate alternatives or to see things uniquely does not occur just by change. It is linked to other more fundamental qualities of thinking, such as flexibility, tolerance of ambiguity or unpredictability, and the enjoyment of things unknown. So thus the creativity is the development of ideas about products, practices, services or procedures that are novel and potentially useful to the organization. So let's look at the steps involved in the process of creativity in detail. It starts with problem recognition. So a person discovers that a new opportunity exists or a problem needs a solution. Then comes the stage of immersion. So the individual concentrates on the problem and becomes immersed in it. He or she will recall and recollect information that seems relevant to him, dreams up alternatives without refining or evaluating them. So basically just pondering over the problem and trying to collect all the relevant information about it. Then comes the stage of incubation. Now here the person keeps the assembled information in mind for a while. Although he does not appear to be working on it actively, however, his subconscious mind is still engaged in the problem. Now while information is simmering, it is being arranged into meaningful new patterns. After this comes the stage called insight. Now here the problem conquering solution suddenly flashes into the person's mind at an unexpected time, like on the verge of sleeping, during a shower, or while running. Insight is also called the Eureka experience. Now at the end, verification and application. So the individual sets out to prove that the creative solution has merit. Verification procedure includes gathering supportive evidence, using logical persuasion, and experimenting with new ideas. So these are the 5 steps in the creative process. Let's look at some of the personality traits of creative people. So generally these people are open to experimentation, they love to take risk, and they love to do their work with persistence. Generally complex ideas attracts them, they are highly intuitive, energetic, and have broad range of interest. You will find them being very adventurous in their day-to-day life as well. So these were some of the personality traits. Now again, this is not the norm, but what is generally observed. Now many a times the creative people do not get the right outlet to channelize their creativity, especially in organizations. There can be several factors which can hamper or create barriers to a creative process. For example, when an organization focuses too much on extrinsic motivation, so that means they use a lot of motivational factors based on money, perks. So all the materialistic needs are being looked at, but they ignore the job satisfaction, job enrichment needs of employees. Secondly, critical evaluation or close supervision. You need to allow people to make mistakes in an organization, and the superiors have to be patient with a person's learning space in an organization. Then control of decision making. If you do not decentralize, if you do not let your employees take their own decisions, if you do not let them do their work in their own way, again they won't be open to giving any creative solutions. Then again, another barrier to creativity is fear of mistakes and failure. Now this is related to the point of being very controlling by a supervisor. So basically an organization need to build a culture of innovation and creativity so that people can find new ways and better ways of doing work. After creativity, let's have a look at innovation. So innovation is the implementation of new ideas at individual, group, or organizational level. Unlike creativity, innovation is a process of intentional change made to create value by meeting opportunity and seeking advantage. Now, some of the characteristics of innovation are: innovation is a process. That means it can be learned and managed. Secondly, it's intentional. Here the process is carried out on a purpose. Innovation results in some kind of change. And finally, the whole point of change is to create value in our economy, society, or on individual lives. So let's look at the steps involved in the innovation process. First is analytical planning. So we start with carefully identifying the product or service features, design, as well as resources that will be needed. So a thorough planning in these areas is required at the beginning. After that, we move on to resource organization. So you need to obtain the required resources, be it material, technology, human, or capital that will be needed. Then comes the stage of implementation. Here we apply the resources in order to accomplish the plans. And finally, the commercial application. So once the product is developed, we need to make it commercially viable so that we can reward the employees or satisfy the stakeholders for whom the innovation process was carried out. Let's further discuss the different types of innovations. First is invention. This is described as the creation of a new product, service or process. So something that has not been tried before would be called an invention. Then comes extension. Here the expansion of an existing product, service or process, and this would mean that the entrepreneur takes an existing idea and applies it differently. Duplication, so basically copying or replicating an existing product or service and then adding the entrepreneur's own creative touch to it so that he can improve it further. Last is synthesis. So a combination of more than one existing product or service to form a new product or service. So this means that several different ideas are combined in one new product or service.